Good morning and welcome back to our Disney devotionals where we are reading through this book here. Today we are on the three Caballeros. I feel like I'm butchering that. In all my Disney childhood years, I never came across these. And it wasn't until this past year I heard people talking about it. I was like, the three what? Who? So maybe this will tell me more about it. I have another hypothetical question for you or your family to answer together. Here it is. If you could instantly add one new skill or talent to your abilities, what would you choose? It could be something athletic, musical, crafty, or any new ability. In other words, what have you always wanted to learn? I'll tell you mine. I would learn Spanish. One language was required at my high school, and I had three choices: Spanish, French, and Latin. I chose Latin for some reason, and while I love my Latin teacher and classes, I don't remember squat about it today. It took 2 years of Spanish in high school, and it's just... It hasn't really helped me too much in life. No offense to my former teacher if she's reading. I honestly wish I had taken Spanish. Being a paramedic, there have been many times where knowing Spanish would have benefited me. Plus, I would love to be fluent in another language, especially one that is used fairly prevalently in our culture. Maybe one day I'll learn it on my own. Knowing Spanish also would have helped when I recently watched today's movie for the first time. Hoy estemos discutiendo los tres caballeros. That is, today we are discussing the three Caballeros, and yes, I had to use Google Translate. I'm guessing we have finally come to a Disney film that many reading haven't seen. It's on Disney Plus if you want to check it out. As I mentioned in the introduction, I really wanted to watch every film in this book before writing its devotional. So I took the time to check this one out. I had certainly heard of the three Caballeros, having been to Epcot many times. I've only been there once in 8th grade. We talked about it in book 1 when discussing the Mexico Pavilion and the World Showcase there. Inside that pavilion, there is a boat ride designed to take you on a tour of Mexican culture, music, and scenery. Additionally, it features the three Caballeros on several screens throughout, singing and getting into mischief. There are also 3 audio animatronics of the birds toward the end of the ride. The attraction celebrates the culture of Mexico while this film broadens our travels a bit. This film was produced in 1944 in order to improve relations between the U.S. and South American countries during World War II. Another film, Saludos Amigos, was produced earlier in 1942 for the same reason and introduced Jose Carioca, a cigar-smoking parrot from Brazil. This film introduced the first Mexican Disney character, Panchito Pistoles, a rooster from Mexico. Together with Donald Duck, American of course, the three birds make up the three Caballeros. Caballeros is a Spanish word for gentleman or knight. This movie premiered in Mexico City in December 1944. The basic premise is that Donald Duck is given a package for his birthday on Friday the 13th, although we aren't told which month. The package contains 3 smaller presents wrapped inside. As Donald opens his gifts, we are presented with 7 different subsections of the film, combining animation and live actors. Each section highlights a different part of Mexico, Central, or South America. The movie came to U.S. theaters in February 1945, but was already a hit in South America. It was nominated for 2 Oscars, including Best Musical Score and Best Sound, but unfortunately didn't win either. I enjoyed watching this film for the first time. I already loved the familiar song presented in the Epcot boat ride. The movie featured the same song as well as many others. There are several humorous cartoons, some great Latin, Central, and South American scenery, and a lot of culture displayed throughout this film. I learned a lot about our neighbors to the south as well. Anytime we can learn more about another culture, group of people, or way of life, it is beneficial. This helps us to better communicate, understand, and appreciate others. The Bible makes it clear that it doesn't matter our gender, race, or ethnicity. We all have one thing in common. Read Galatians 3:28, where it says, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is no male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." In Acts 17:26 through 28, Paul is preaching to the people and talks about how God created those from every nation in order that all should seek him. Finally, in Revelation 7, John is reporting on his vision of heaven and notes in verses 9 through 10 that he saw a great multitude that no one could number, from every nation, from all tribes and people and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. He observes that they are all worshiping God together with a loud voice. I encourage you to watch The Three Caballeros. It's definitely a different kind of Disney film, but entertaining, educational, and fun at the same time. I also encourage you, as a follower of God, to actively learn about those from different backgrounds. Make an effort to get to know people from other countries, cultures, languages, and even religions. After all, if we are going to fulfill our biblical mission in teaching others about God and His Word, we must get to know them first. Always remember that God created every single person on earth, and He loves them all the same. He desires each one to be with Him one day, and it's our job to help them get there. I think my biggest culture shock a couple years ago, I went on a missions trip to Guatemala, and I've traveled out of the country before, but like to Europe. And this was, we flew into Guatemala City, which, I mean, to me was pretty like Americanized. We ate at McDonald's, but then as we got in the van and drove hours and hours outside of town, the further outside of town you got, the more you're like, whoa. And it was very, very eye-opening. And actually, so I was down there, there's a clinic that was built that people could come for medicine, and they would come down like from the villages and from the mountains to this clinic because it was the closest thing for them. And it was just quite a different way of life, and just basic things that we would probably take for granted here. I know the friends that we have there, they're like, bring peanut butter. I don't think they could get peanut butter there. Or, for us, like a trip to the Home Depot to build something, whereas they, it would take like several hours of a trip to get supplies. And then the roads there, oh my goodness. Just these winding roads through the mountains. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good idea just to get those different perspectives and try to like walk in others' shoes.
Jen taking care of a big cow she took down.
My friend.
Well, she didn't take it down. Her friend. Oh. This is real Guatemala. This is real.
So yeah, I have not seen the three Caballeros. Am I saying that right? Caballeros. Yet, but I'll put it on my list of things to watch. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.